Hello guys, in this video we will be discussing 5 critical reasoning questions. So you have to just pause the video and try it by yourself and then we will discuss further on. So the first question says Dr. Clark, an obesity researcher, has put forward the hypothesis that obesity is linked to profession. Okay, according to him, the brain consumes more energy than any other organ in the body. And the more it is used, the more energy it consumes. He concludes that people who are in professions like medicine, engineering, teaching, scientific research are less likely to be obese than those in professions like marketing, sales, and manufacturing. Okay, so which of the following is an assumption that Dr. Clark has made? Okay, so let's look at the options. Physical activity has no role to play in determining a person's weight. Okay, so this option cannot be my answer because physical activity has nothing to do with the argument. Okay, means this option is irrelevant altogether as far as this argument discussed in question is concerned. Okay, so A option can't be my answer. Professions like marketing place negligible demands on the intellect. Professions like marketing place negligible demands on the intellect. Okay, so Dr. Clark does not say that marketing as a profession is not intellectually demanding. It's just that he says it is less intellectually demanding than some other professions. Okay, so Dr. Clark said that marketing as a profession is less intellectually demanding. Okay, so this particular option is saying that professions like marketing place negligible demands on intellect. So Dr. Clark doesn't say that. Okay, so this can't be my answer. He just only said that marketing as a profession is less intellectually demanding than the other professions like medicine, engineering, teaching, scientific research. So B option can't be my answer. Doctors and scientists are in general more intelligent than marketeers. Okay, so this option again is irrelevant, just like option A. Dr. Clark has nothing mentioned or nothing compared about intelligence of any professions or something. Like, so this particular option is just irrelevant and hence can't be my answer. So professions, next option says professions like marketing are less intellectually demanding than are the professions like medicine and scientific research. So perfectly, this is something that Dr. Clark has said in the argument that professions like marketing are less intellectually demanding, and that's why the people who are in these professions are likely to be more obese than the people who are in the professions which are more intellectually demanding. So, option D is the correct answer to this question. So, I guess there might be some, if there is some confusion, let me repeat why option D would be the answer, because there is only one simple thing that Dr. Clark mentioned in the argument, that if the profession is more intellectually demanding, the people who are in that profession will be less obese than the other people who are in other professions. Okay, so I hope this question is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the next question says a cinema production house P that consistently makes box office hits attributes its success to the heroine X, who is an excellent dancer. Which of the following can be reasonably inferred from the above statement? Okay, so we have to draw an inference out of the thing given in the question. Let's see. Productions of other banners are also successful when they star Miss X. See, this is kind of extreme. This is not even mentioned from where we can draw an inference. See, the productions of other banners are also successful. I cannot draw this inference because we are not talking about the other production houses. We are only sticking to the production house P. Okay, so I don't know anything about other production houses and hence this can't be my answer. Next option says if a film fails, it is because Miss X is not in it. Again, we can't draw this inference because the data is not given. When the film fails, what happens, what is the reason behind that the film is failing to make a box office hit. Okay, so that thing is not given in the question. How can I draw an inference out of it, right? So again, option B can't be my answer, just because for a simple reason, this is not mentioned in the argument. Okay, if something is not mentioned in the argument, how can I make inference out of it, right? And similar reason goes with option A as well. Other production houses, we are not talking about that, hence A and B can't be my answer. music and dance contribute a great deal to the success of films made by production house P. Okay, so this looks good. Why? Because production P says that its film gets success because of heroine X and who is an excellent dancer. So we can draw an inference that music and dance has something to do with the success of films. See why the films are getting hit, just because this heroine X is an excellent dancer, right? So from there we can draw an inference that music and dance, they have something, they have to do with the success of films. Okay, so we can draw a reasonable inference from here. Let's look at option D. Miss X is indispensable to the success of all films of production house P. See, indispensable means necessary. Okay, so success of all films, again, just because of this term all films, I am eliminating this option. Okay, I can't draw this inference about all films of production P. Okay, the simple inference that we can draw is that the production house P makes box office hits because Miss X, this heroine X, is excellent dancer. It means that dancing and music and all these stuff are necessary for the success of films. Okay, so this simple inference we can draw from the question, and hence C option would be my answer. Let's look at the next question. Okay, so this question says a software has been developed by the University of Illinois to tell one's age accurately from a view of his or her face. Okay, this could be useful in stopping underage drinkers from entering bars and in preventing minors from purchasing tobacco products. Which of the following, if true, would weaken the statement about the capability of the software cited above? Okay, so I have to look out for an option which is something which says something against the capability of the software. Okay, so that particular option which is saying something against the capability of the software would weaken the statement. Yeah. So let's look at the options. Okay, so the first option says the software's accuracy ranges from 80% to 85% when estimating ages to within a year. Okay, so this option looks fine because the software accuracy ranges from, okay, so even if it is not 100%, but it is still working, right? It is still working on its capabilities. So basically, I am looking out for an option where the option says that the software is not capable of determining the age accurately. So this option is in fact saying that accuracy ranges from 80 to 85%. That's okay. In fact, the software is working to its capabilities. So this can't be my answer because this is not weakening the statement. This is perfectly in line with the statement, what is mentioned in the question. Okay. So if I am not eliminating this, let's keep it aside. Okay. A huge database of facial expressions is needed to determine a range of ages. A huge database of facial expression is needed to determine a range of ages. Okay, so this is also fine because this is not weakening the statement about the capability of the software. Okay, again, I am repeating what I am looking out in these options is that something is happening due to which the capability of the software goes down. Means the software cannot determine the age from the face accurately. I am looking out something that, okay, in the options. So a huge database of facial expression is needed. So if huge database is needed, and even then if it is working with its capability, then it's fine. Okay, so B can't be my answer because it is not weakening the statement. Teens in Asia are smaller built than those in Western countries and appear younger. Teens in Asia are smaller built than those in Western countries. Again, this option is not weakening the statement. I am again looking out for something for which the which option says that software's ability has gone down to determine the age. Again, this option, if it is true, then this option can't weaken the statement. Let's look at option D. State of health and nourishment often affect appearance at any age. See, this option is perfectly fine. This option is perfectly weakening the statement. How? Because something is mentioned in this option. What is that something? Health and nourishment. Something is affecting the appearance at any age. and that is why the capability software is not able to work on its full capabilities. Okay, so something is happening due to which software is not working to its full capabilities, and that's what I was looking out. Okay, so answer would be D option. If we look at the A option, which we kept aside initially, so even if its accuracy ranges from 80% to 85%, but it is still working, right? So it is still working. I am looking out for something which is saying that software is not capable of determining accurately. So option D would be the correct answer, because it is because this option says that it has that health and nourishment affect the appearance at any age. So if they affect the appearance, it means software cannot detect the age from the view of the person's face accurately, and hence D would be my answer. Okay, so let's look at the next question. Okay, so the next question says Cristiano, professor of economics at the Thapar University of Patiala, analyzed death rates from 1972 to 1991, comparing them to economic shifts. He found that for every 1% increase in unemployment rates, there was a 0.5% decline in the death rate. Which of the following, if true, points to the possible reason for the seeming inconsistency in the statement above? Okay, so what is the inconsistency mentioned? That for every 1% increase in unemployment rate, there was a 0.5% decline in the death rate. And that is something contrary to our normal expectations, right? And this is the inconsistency. So I have to look something in the option which gives me the possible reason for this inconsistency. Okay, so what I will be searching for in the options, I will be searching something in the options which says that unemployment rates are increasing and something is happening due to which death rate is decreasing. Okay, if this is mentioned in any of the given options, then I will pick up that option, because that would be the possible reason for the inconsistency mentioned. Okay, I hope you are getting my point, what I will be looking in the options. See, I have not seen the options right now, but I have made this thing very clear in my mind that what I will be looking in it. I will be just looking that unemployment will be increasing and something would be happening, some story will be there, something would be happening due to which death rate will be decreasing. Okay, if this thing is, this whole scenario is present in any option, I will going to pick that option up and move on to the next question. So let's see the options. Carpools ensure that fewer people drive during an economic slowdown and are hence less prone to fatal accidents. Carpools ensure that fewer people drive during economic slowdown and are hence less prone to fatal accidents. Okay, so this option is not suggesting what I was looking for. Okay, so this option is not saying anything about unemployment rates, I guess. So I am just yeah, this option can't be my answer. Okay, because simply because of the fact this is not mentioning what I was looking for. Okay, so let's just keep it aside. I am not eliminating it right now. I am just keeping it aside. I want to compare with the other options first. People who are worried about job losses do things that keep them from being laid off. People who are worried about job losses do things that keep them from being laid off. Okay, so this looks completely irrelevant. However, I am just keeping it aside right now. So option A and option B, I am keeping them aside. I have not eliminated them as of now. During unemployment, people resort to buying and eating inexpensive foods that are conducive to good health. During unemployment, people resort to buying and eating expensive food that are conducive to good health. Okay, so this yeah, this is perfectly fine. This is something I was looking for. In fact, see, unemployment is there. During unemployment is there and something is happening. What is something? People are buying and eating foods that are basically good for their health. Okay, so employment is there and something is happening with the people, and that is in fact good for their health, right? So this is what I was looking for, what I mentioned before. So option C would be my answer, but however, I have to eliminate option A and B. So let's look at the option D as well. Stress about job loss can actually be a potential killer. See, stress about job loss, it means unemployment is there, can actually be a potential killer. Okay, so this is in fact strengthening that argument. This is not explaining the inconsistency. This option D is saying that if unemployment is there, death rates would also be in there. Okay, But I am looking that if unemployment is there, death rates would decrease. But this option D is giving me a feeling that if unemployment rates are there, death rates will also increase. Okay, so D can't be my answer. Now, if I have to compare between option A, B, and C, option C is the perfect answer because I have found the reason I was looking for. Okay, so I will mark option C and move on to the next question, because just for the simple fact, because unemployment is there, and um, people are eating some foods and inexpensive foods that are conducive to their good health, it means there would be a decline in the death rate. Okay, because that food is conducive to their good health, it's good for their health, there will be a decline in the death rate, right? So that's what this particular option will give me the possible reason for the inconsistency mentioned in the statement. I hope you have understood why I am marking option C, right? So in fact, I was not pretty much sure between option A and B, so I didn't eliminate them initially, I just kept them aside. But as soon as my eyes saw this option C, I was pretty confident that this would be my answer. Okay, so option C would be the answer to this question. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so the next question says the IITs, the most sought after engineering schools in India, get much of their funding from the government of India. A select committee that was set up by the HRD ministry to make recommendations on how the quality of engineering education in India can be improved suggested that government reduce funding to these institutions as their popularity is adversely affecting the ability of other schools to attract the best students. Okay, so which of the following, if true, suggests that the recommendation is flawed? Okay, so basically, what is the recommendation by the committee in first place? Recommendation is that the funding given by the government to the these top engineering schools are in fact affecting the ability of other engineering schools to attract the best students. So this is the recommendation given by the committee, that their funding is affecting other engineering schools. Okay, so this is the recommendation. Now the question is asking me that the recommendation is flawed. Okay, so I have to look in the options something where the funding has nothing to do with the other engineering colleges. Okay, so let's look at the options. The funds available determine the quality of education offered. The funds available determine the quality of education offered. See, this is not suggesting that the recommendation is flawed. So this option can't be my answer because I am just looking for a simple thing, that uh, funding has nothing to do. See, what is the recommendation? That funding of the government is affecting the other engineering schools, right? I want to make this recommendation flawed. I am looking out for something that funding of government to these IITs and all is not affecting the other engineering schools. I am just looking for the simple fact, right? So this option is not giving me that feeling. This option is not suggesting me that, basically, right? So uh, this can't be my answer. Government funding is a key determiner of the reputation of educational institution as it helps them to equip themselves as needed. See, this straight away can't be my answer. Why? Because this option is emphasizing the government funding is a key determiner, right? I am looking for some option which is saying against the funding, and this option is giving more emphasis on the government funding, right? So this option can't be my answer. The IITs are established schools and enjoy an enviable international reputation, okay, right? That other schools will be hard pressed to match. See, this option is not weakening the argument. This option is not making the recommendation flawed. However, the option looks good, but the recommendation based on it is not flawed. Okay, so I'm just keeping it in contention. Okay, I want to read first all options, only then I want to make my choice. The popularity of a college is decided solely by the achievements of its alumni and by the way industry perceives the school and its pedagogy. Okay, so this is something that I was looking out in this question. This is exactly my answer. See, why? Because popularity of other engineering colleges or just a college is decided solely by the achievements of its alumni, and so this particular option suggests me that the funding of government to the other IITs has nothing to do with the ability of the other engineering schools to attract the talent, to attract the best students. I hope you are getting right. So this is making the recommendation flawed. See, what was the recommendation? That funding is affecting other engineering schools, their ability to attract the talent. Okay, this was the recommendation. And how it is being flawed by option D? Because option D is saying that the college is the popularity of a college is decided solely by the achievements of its alumni and by the way industry perceives the school and its pedagogy. So it has nothing to do with the government funding, right? So option D would be my answer. So this was an easy question. I don't see any difficult thing in this particular question. If you are clear with what you are looking out in the options, then it will make you realize that which options will be your answer. If you are pretty much clear in your mind that what you are looking for. Okay, so all these things will come with practice. So this comes with the end to this video. I just took 5 questions in this video, and I will be discussing more critical reasoning questions in the next videos. Okay, so if you like this video, and then please subscribe to the channel, and please share it among with your friends whom you think it might be beneficial. And one more thing, that I have given the Telegram group link in the description. So that Telegram group is meant for the discussion and for the doubt solving. So good variety of questions will be discussed there. So if you have not joined that group, please do join. The link will be in the description below. Okay, so see you guys in the next one. Thank you.